let's go over here now. We're live. Hi. Say Gray's gonna make us a drink again this week, everybody.
Today's drink is actually not even that special. It's just what I decided I was going to have while we were streaming here today. We're going to make a White Russian. I make mine a little bit different than you're going to find it in a bar, but the same ingredients still apply. You're going to need Kahlua. You're going to need some vodka. And you're going to need heavy cream. For me, I like to use French vanilla ice cream. And the way I do it, since all my alcohols are stored at room temperature here, I take the ice cream, I put it in the shaker, put my vodka on top, and then I shake. And because the vodka is warm, well, relatively warm, the ice cream melts, that gives you your cream. Now you pour your Kahlua in your glass first. And then that should do it there. You should get beautiful.
That is a drink. I'm 100% gonna try it with ice cream next time I make a White Russian.
It is a much better way to make it. And cheers.
Cheers. Hey, thanks for the drink, man. Hope everybody's ready for our cool game. Sorry, a real quick announcement. I was really busy finishing a comic this week, and I kind of forgot to do the intro video, the recap video. But we'll do a quick recap once we get live. Here's the intro.
I'm like, well, this isn't it. This isn't it. It hasn't been the whole time.
It hasn't been. Oh, wait. We're still on the... There we go. Hey, everybody's good. Hey, you know what? Technical difficulties. Hey, we're live. All right. Like I said, as we were mixing our White Russians, I kind of forgot to make the recap video, but that's okay. Last week on D&D, our heroes were at Faith Loquan's Wizard Tower. They worked with the half-dragon, the amethyst half-dragon, who was a emissary from the neutral celestial dragon god. They worked together, destroyed the tower. Well, that wasn't necessarily the plan. A couple of critical fails in there led to the tower being mostly destroyed. Walls getting blown out. The tower did not fully crumble to the ground. Might still be stuff in there salvageable. But with people injured and Faith in custody, the group makes their way back to the city of Reneus Alinar, where they were taken to the Mages College. Faith was put into custody in a anti-magic zone. Statements were taken from everybody as to her experiments with perpetual arcanum and siphoning energy from the outer planes, and just in general, her unscrupulous character in general. And we ended the session last week with our group heading back to the shimmering slipper or whatever, the glistening slipper, to hang out with little old Granny again. Her completely what's the word? Traumatized grandson, who walked in on Rowan and his grandma the week before that.
You got to learn at
Say
some point.
traumatized. I say educated.
That's where we left it last week. Think while we wait for some other people to hop in the stream here, I was gonna put on a poll to see the fate of Faith Loquan, but we might save that for after the halftime break. Rouch Couch, welcome in. What's up? We're just starting our spooky Halloween extravaganza here. Speaking of which, let's get right into it. So you guys are you're at the glistening slipper. It's a little different than last time. You don't know if maybe there was like it doesn't. There's like a different air, like a different vibe in the air. It feels a little different. Maybe it's just, because that kid, is now he's a chain smoker now, and he's drinking. He's only like 13 years old or whatever. But like as Quothe like walked up the path last time, he was sitting there smoking a cigarette. He's like, "Oh, you guys are back, huh?" And then like flicks his cigarette at Quothe and walks inside to like get them a room. Things have changed a little bit. You're not sure if maybe it was like a guest, or maybe there's just something strange in the air of Reneus Alinar, but you could swear that you smell like just the faintest whiff of sulfur in the air. Like that vague rotten egg smell. Maybe that kid just ripped a nasty one. We don't know.
It's usually other things.
It's like a
It's
faint.
just crop dusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kids just rolling around crop dust.
Yeah.
Well, I have a quick question. We never took a long rest, so we don't have our spells and hit points and all that stuff refreshed, right?
Well, yeah. As you get to the hotel, you have not yet taken a long rest.
Okay, I just want to make sure my sheet's up to date with where I'm at. Okay, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, so you guys smell the faint smell of sulfur. If there's anything you guys want to do at the inn before you go to bed, there's like dinner and stuff already prepared from earlier in the night. There's like some leftovers and stuff that you guys can have if you're interested. Little things.
Hale wants to show off to the party really bad.
Okay.
So he's going to gather everyone around a dinner table, and he's going to use the Biblica Pastafarica to summon a pasta-based dinner for them.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Vilmar
Oh.
was here last time, right? Because I think I was on the episode when you guys were here. Vilmar was with the group, right?
Yeah.
You don't remember Granny?
I don't think I
If
was.
you don't remember Granny, then you weren't here.
Yeah, I don't really remember Granny.
You don't remember the sweet little old lady who
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But Vilmar wants to use since you described this as sulfur and stuff. I want to use my divine sense to make sure kosher here
Fair enough.
at the shimmering slipper, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Second heat. that. Alright. Divine sense. The presence of strong evil registers senses powerful. Good rings and it's an action. You open your awareness to detect such forces. Till the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type, any being, but not the specific. Okay. You do not detect any fiends, celestials, or undead in here.
Okay.
That's not too bad considering the whiff of sulfur.
Yeah.
This kid's been eating a lot of beans.
You had
and
to
a
think
lot of
about
eggs.
the undead part, though. Let's think about this for a second.
Oh, and they might just not be within 60 feet. I don't know how big this inn is either.
Okay,
They are
do it on the
inn-
next floor now,
1 feet away
Jovis.
from you.
the inn is not larger than a 60-foot cube. I want to. It's only 2 stories, so the house itself is likely barely 30 feet tall. It's just like an old Victorian house. Like I don't think it's larger than a 60-foot cube. It might be a little long, like a little wider than 60 feet. I'm really bad at estimating distances, but I don't think it is.
Well, he's gonna sit down and enjoy his pasta then.
Yeah, you're relatively sure there's no fiends, celestials, or undead here, and that this area is not hallowed or consecrated. Or consecrated or desecrated with hallow. So yeah.
Weirdly, this pasta book, it has to have been the most used thing in Fea's Tower.
She, she likes a spaghetti bolognese. What can I say? Because you guys have a nice, lovely dinner, and there are drinks available. There's if you wanted to with your pasta dinner, there's also some little like meat pies available, like steak and kidney, like personal size like steak and kidney pies. There's also like a cake that's got some slices taken out of it, but like a really nice fancy looking cake with like fondant on the outside and lots of like decorative frosting on it. Do any of you have a drink or cake or any of the pies along with your pasta?
Bilmar only eats what Tails made or what he had
Exactly.
Everybody's out here like acting like they're gonna get poisoned. Tails totally gonna go get a drink.
Rowan
have a little bit of
is-
everything.
Yeah, Rowan's having a little bit of everything here.
Aside from the pie that Jeannie had.
What?
Oh.
Okay,
Different type of
fine.
pie.
You know what type of pie.
Oh no.
Bend over pie.
No, that's the
Oh,
dessert
no.
after the dessert.
Second dessert, no.
Granny's definitely she's in and out, but like every time she like comes through the room and like in the dining room and asks like if you need a refresher on your drink or whatever, she always like lingers a little bit around Rowan, gives him a little wink as she like leaves the room.
I get it.
Bends over slowly and drops stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I dropped a teaspoon upon the floorboards here.
Mhm.
Let me
You
Let
sure
me just
did.
bend over and pick that up for you,
You sure did,
Rowan.
Granny.
Would you like some tuna casserole?
Oh man, why you guys? The DM has made Granny too thirsty. Rowan is becoming not interested. It's turning Rowan off.
Tail is completely oblivious, has no idea why she keeps doing this.
Oh, I fell over again. No. So
Cast life alert, Jeannie.
I'm falling in love and I can't get off.
So I believe I heard Reshi and Vilmar specifically say they were not eating anything not made by Tail. In which case,
Yes.
I want Quothe, Tail, and Rowan to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh my gosh.
I just say why. It's not because this is suspicious right now. It's because the last time she like shoved cupcakes in our faces, and it made me nervous.
Fair. Nothing happened from eating the cupcake.
I know, but it still made me nervous.
Yeah, no
Did
worries.
she poison my good berry juice?
No, but
I
the
don't know.
or her grandson probably did. Little shithead. All right, let's see here.
What you waiting for, Rowan?
Where's my Constitution saving throw? There it is.
Ha! That's the first time I've ever scored higher than Genie. I'll take it.
All right. So you guys start to feel Quotha, you're fine. But
Yeah.
Tail and Rowan, you guys, you don't know if it's like just stress, like you're finally just like maybe got a chance to like, you know, take a breather for a little bit, you know, Faith's like locked up, the tower's offline, you know, things are finally taken care of around here, like all the weird shit that was going on. You two just, you know, you fill up maybe on cake or good berry juice or whatever it might be, and you know, you take that like couple of minutes after you've eaten, you're kind of just hanging out with your friends, and it starts to like settle in your stomach, you know, like after eating a big meal, like a Thanksgiving meal, you know, and you're just like, oh wow, like I am sleepy. Not like I'm gonna pass out in like 10 seconds kind of sleepy, but just like, ooh, that was, ooh, you know, that feeling.
Mhm.
And it kind of, you know, you're like, I'm going to have a really good night's sleep tonight. So you guys start to make your way upstairs, to the bedrooms. And funnily enough, everybody sees this. While I describe this, I would like everybody to roll 1d8 for me. You guys, no modifiers, just a d. As you guys start heading up the stairs, the walls start to bend a little, and the stairs start to sag a bit, and you're not sure what the hell is going on as the whole house starts to mutate around you. Walls start growing out of walls. Doors start opening in walls. You know, the stairs start to flatten just into a floor. As you're trying to climb them, you keep sinking lower, and like it's all no idea what's going on here. As this all happens, you guys, the floor starts stretching, and some of you start to get pulled away from each other. Vilmar and Reshi, you two end up together in the kitchen. I do believe. Double check. Here.
Is this another mimic?
I don't know.
This would be a
It's
very
not-
detailed mimic.
It's not a mimic. But it's not also definitely a mimic. So yeah, you guys end up in the kitchen. Quothe, you end up in the foyer or foyer. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce that, but
Didn't
like
I survive the Constitution
front
save,
hall.
so it's not affecting me?
No,
Yeah, but it's still
everybody
happening.
everybody is seeing this happen. Genie and Sand are just sleepy at this point.
It's easier for us.
Yeah, you guys kind of just like going with the flow at this point. Let's see. Next on the list, Genie. You get. You are in a hallway, and Sangretti, you are also in a hallway, but you can't see Genie.
I can't feel like it's gonna go well for Quothe.
I'm at the entrance. I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I'm gonna light a match, throw it over my shoulder, and good luck, guys.
Happy Halloween, asshat.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Do you have matches in your inventory?
I got a stink rock.
Okay.
I am his match.
That's done a lot of good for you.
It's an angry little
I'm
lizard.
going to grab the lizard and start yanking its tail, and we'll see what happens.
I always imagine the like monsters that he throws that at. They just like get hit with it and look down on the ground like what? Every time.
I have a torch.
You have a torch. All right. Yeah, you
Yes.
could light the torch if you wanted to.
You're gonna kill us all because you want to get out. Okay, that's fair.
You won't, you
I had it
coward.
coming.
Do we got to roll for initiative to figure out how to get out of here? Or we just
Yeah,
we
let's do that. Rolling for initiative would be
Would be prudent now.
Is everybody okay? We're rolling for initiative.
yeah. Turn this into a oof. Looks like you guys got a turn to figure out how you're going to get out of a burning house.
We're gonna go over here. This picture of the house. So imagine
Why would we stay here? Obviously haunted.
Clearly.
it. Hey, listen. I couldn't find a picture of it. It's actually painted pink on the outside.
Yes, because that makes the bloody handprint in the top window not a thing.
Listen, things happen. It's
being
D&D
weird
world.
about my initiatives here.
Yeah, mine's not working either, but that's okay.
I think it's because he changed
We didn't have
pages.
icons on the map. Yeah, we didn't have icons on the
Yeah.
map.
That's fine. I can. It's here. Second.
You know, I have to admit, New Amsterdam vodka is a disappointment in every way when you compare it to Grey Goose.
You should try the Reka.
The Reka?
Or
how do
Tito's.
Yeah, that's basically what we drink. We drink Tito's or Reka.
Yeah, I think Tito's is great.
So you're not even tasting it. It's so smooth.
Reka's good because it's got kind of a mineral taste to it because of the way they filter it. You filter it over like ash rocks or some shit like that.
That's pretty interesting.
You know what's never a disappointment? Kahlua.
Kahlua is
Yeah,
pretty good.
Kahlua never. Yeah.
I think you guys should be able to enter your initiatives if you click on the initiative and enter the number in.
Okay. Which one do I take the first one or?
Yeah, just take the first thing that you roll.
Ouch.
Awkward.
2.132.
Accidents.
I'm still trying to figure out how the dice said 14, yet I got an 18. Like, I don't have a +4 initiative bonus. It doesn't make sense to me.
Wait, what?
The die that I rolled said 14 here, and then when Roll20 looked at it, it was like, oh yeah, you get an 18.
Oh no, dude.
Do you have a +4 to your initiative?
Nope.
Somebody got a +4, 12.
I've got a +1 to initiative on my my character sheet, but take what I can get. Oh no!
What?
So how do I get on the turn order here?
You are on the turn order, aren't you?
He is not.
Oh. Sorry.
Don't think I don't see what that creature's called, Jeff.
Don't look at that. You're not allowed to.
It's right there.
Not allowed. Stop using your eyes. Sorry, Vilmar. You were still on my turn order on my DM's side.
Why didn't you just
things.
name it adult diaper or something?
Because I don't know how to change the name of creatures from the monster manual.
Just know that this is like on the top 10 things you don't want to run into when you're having a rough day. Pretty high up there.
Good. This will be fun.
It'll be okay. Don't worry about it, you guys. Listen. It's
I'm just
Halloween.
saying,
It's Halloween. It's spooky time.
if Tail dies today, I will find the most aggravating character concept I can.
You'll be fine.
Oh, be my halfling luck divination cleric. Nope, I think that was a 20, sir.
All right. So let's order you guys here. Whoops, descending order. Second, I write down your names next to where you currently are.
So the bitch ass monster gets to hit first.
You don't know that.
Okay, sorry, I'm not using my eyes.
Listen, that's meta knowledge. Nothing has happened yet. Vilmar and Reshi are both in the kitchen. It's in a hallway. It's in foyer. I wrote foyer instead of clothing. Clothing is in the foyer, and then Tail is in a different hallway than. Got it. Okay. So starting top here. We'll flash over to Rowan. Rowan, you've been separated from your group. Things are kind of weird. You know you were feeling drowsy after eating some of that cake. But you'd see that thirsty old lady.
Oh God.
She's somehow like, okay, so imagine like an old like Victorian style dress, high collar, lots of buttons, frill around the collar and around the the cuffs of like the sleeves of the dress. Very long, looks very complicated to get out of. Literally like she's like, there's nothing else, I'm gonna get ready for bed. And then like a couple of minutes later, you guys start trying to like walk up the stairs and the house starts shifting and rooms are morphing into other rooms and the floor like pulls you guys apart and puts you into different locations of this house. And when everything slows and settles down again and you're like, okay, I think like wherever we're gonna be is, we're good. You see like down at the end of the hallway, it ends in a doorway and she's just there in a negligee. And it was like 2 minutes. It was like 2 minutes since you saw her in like full like Victorian. You're like, how the okay, whatever. And she's just like, with her finger, she's just like doing the come hither, like, she's.
I'm gonna resist that because it's gotten to the point where now it's just like too
too suspect.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, it's just like she's just Granny, you're coming on real strong, like way too strong here.
She
I don't
says,
like it. It's creeping me out.
She says, "We never got to finish our good time last night, honey."
Yeah, but look, I just got through eating all this food. Look, we're gonna be off the road a few days. Let me have tonight, and then we can figure things out.
She's like, "Then how else do you propose you pay for your room here, sweetheart?"
I didn't say that we weren't going to. I'm just saying I'm just really exhausted tonight.
It's 5 gold a person.
Well, that's expensive all of a sudden.
Jesus Christ! It was 2 even when it wasn't.
Oh, I mean 7 gold a person.
Oh, okay. Oh, Rowan goes digging into his bag for gold.
Some prices are worth paying.
She looks visibly frustrated. Meanwhile, in a different hallway, in the house, again, things shifting around. You've been pulled away, from your allies. Tail, you're in another hallway. You see, that kid. He's a little younger than you by just about a couple of years. But you know, basically peers, right? He's like not even outside. He's just smoking a cigarette in the hallway of his house, and he's got like a very small knife or dagger. I don't, you know. And he's kind of like flipping it in the air, you know. You can see like he's been carving swear words in the wall, kind of behind like a dresser.
Christ.
Like behind the dresser, like in the hallway, just like, you know, dirty words like poop and stuff, like real, like oh man, like man, I can't believe he's carving poop, you know, and like doo doo into the wall, like oh, this kid's edgy. He offers you a cigarette.
Nice.
No thanks, I don't smoke. And then I'm going to summon Tensorio's pasta plate from the Biblica Apostolica, and I'm going to go the opposite direction of the kid while leaving a trail of spaghetti. So I knew where I was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he like takes a long drag on the cigarette. He's like, "Come on, kid, what are you, some kind of nerd?" It's like, "It's just a cigarette, man. Everybody's doing it. It'll make you cool." He starts to kind of follow you as you walk away, leaving your trail of spaghetti. As you do that, he like starts smearing like the spaghetti sauce like all over the floor. He like steps on like a meatball, like squishes it into the floorboards. He's a really
I still have my trail of spaghetti though, so
yeah.
I'm
It's
just
he's like
ignoring
just
this
making a mess in the house because he's like he's like a rebel now, you know. He's a real cool kid.
Good job, Jeannie.
You've seen some shit though, so.
Look,
Yeah.
this is perfect Hansel and Gretel logic, guys. I gotta leave the spaghetti trail for safety reasons. All right.
All right. From there, we will go. So, Tail, you are leaving a trail of spaghetti. On your turn, you said you cast Tensor's floating pasta plate or whatever.
Here, let me read what it's actually called. Tensorio's floating plate of pasta, capable of carrying 33 pounds of pasta.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Okay. So is that going to be your action then for your first turn, casting that spell and starting to leave this trail?
Yeah,
Bonus
I mean,
action?
I'm not in combat.
Fair enough.
Bonus action, I'm gonna make some pesto. That is one of the other things I can do.
Damn.
So,
I was thinking the
Fucking bug.
spaghetti already had a red sauce on it, but all right, just putting some
fucking
pesto up
great.
on there. Fair enough. All right, that'll take us to Vilmar. Now, Vilmar, you and Reshi are together in the kitchen, so we can actually do, since you guys are literally back to back in the turn order. If we want, we can just do your guys' turns together. So the two of you, you are in the kitchen. Everything has been, it's pretty clean in here, you know. Granny does a pretty good job keeping the kitchen clean. The oven is still kind of warm. It's like, you know, it's definitely warmer than like the normal room temperature, but it's like the oven's been off for a while, right? Like, you know, maybe like 150 degrees there at this point after baking that cake. But other than that, like, it's just a pretty normal looking kitchen. There's a couple of counters. There's obviously the oven with a stovetop on top of it. Cupboards, a couple of doors. One looks like maybe a back door. You kind of like glass window. You can kind of see out into like the backyard. Is overgrown. It's nighttime, so you can't really see, but it looks like a garden with like lots of large plants out there. And there's like a door that's sort of between like a kitchen counter and like where the stove is, and then there's like a door opposite the back door that's sort of just like on like a rather empty wall. There's like some cabinets and stuff on there, but like nothing big. And then there's like a big table with like a couple of chairs around it for sort of like a more informal dining area. You know, maybe like when there's nobody here, like maybe that's where like the family would eat, you know? Whereas everybody else is served in the formal dining room.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and open the back door.
You're gonna try to open the back?
I want to get the fuck out of here.
You give me well, first the door is locked. It seems like it's locked.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Punch it down.
Try and punch it down. All right.
Yeah.
You can make it
Door's
make an attack roll. While you do that, Vilmar, what are you doing in the
I am going to
Watch me punch the door down.
no. There's like countertops and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And then you
Yeah.
said there was windows and stuff
well, there's like a window in the door. Yeah,
in the door.
the back door. You kind of see out to a garden. Yeah.
Okay. You know, I'm just gonna go and take my. I'll just, I'll just jab like at the countertops or something with my sword, since we had the experience with a mimic
Right. Right.
tower. So I'm just
True.
gonna take an attack at like, some object, countertop or table or something.
All right. You can roll your attack as well then. All right. So with a 24 and a 15, you guys both like look at each other after like the room kind of settles and solidifies back, and after all the rubberiness and stuff happened, you kind of look at each other like mimic, attack, like in simultaneous like fashion. I'm not gonna have you roll damage because you're not damaging anything here, but both of you experience the elasticity is still there. Or actually, you like go to punch the door, and like the window, because it's like clearly the easiest thing, just smash the glass, open the door or something, right? The window just is like, imagine like if it was made of like see-through bubble gum. It just like stretches, forms around your hand, and like when you pull your hand back, it just like like wiggles into place.
What was that noise again? What was that noise? Okay.
Actually worked really well for the visual.
Yeah, you just everything like looks like it's solid, and the floor doesn't seem to decompress when you're like walking on it. But anytime you like try to like punch or damage this thing, it seems like that elasticity returns and things just deform instead of letting you like break or shatter anything.
What the fuck, Jeff?
Divine favor?
No, I was trying to read it. I wasn't trying to cast it. I'm just trying to.
I need help. Divine favor.
Fair enough.
Trying to.
That shit burns good.
That'll bring us over to Rowan. So you're digging through your bag for some money. Granny's out there trying to extort you into sex. You're just in a hallway. There's, looks like a hallway. Some doors, and, it's skinnier than it is long.
I want to cast Charm Person on her.
Cast Charm Person.
Yep.
Very interesting. Okay. You try and cast Charm Person, and it fails.
Okay.
She is not a person.
Okay. Well.
Oof.
Yep. I.
It doesn't work. Like, just like from casting the magic, it just, like in your mind, you just hear like a bap bap, like that. Nope, this doesn't work. And you still cast the spell, but you find out technically she's not classified as a humanoid. Then so the spell fails. She starts to take some steps forward. Like, she's not using like her movement or anything because it's not her turn. But she starts to take some steps forward, and she's like, naughty, very naughty, Rowan. You're going to have to be punished. And she just like pulls a crop out of nowhere.
Oh no.
That just went the direction I didn't want to see.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
You blink, and
my
her
God.
lingerie is now like made out of leather.
She stole your outfit. Wait a minute.
Oh no!
Can't you change yours? Turn it into like some, I don't know, plate armor. No, give yourself a chastity belt.
That's an action. That's an action.
That's actually a good idea.
I used my action already.
Call the locksmith.
Oh my God.
It's Robin Hood men tights around here now. Maid Marian.
Oh. I feel okay. I want to use my bonus action to cast Expeditious Retreat.
Nice.
And use whatever movement I have to like take off in the opposite direction.
Fair enough. All right, you cast Expeditious Retreat. You start running away through this hallway. So both you and Tail, you guys are kind of moving away from the NPCs that were trying to engage with you. As you're moving through the hallways, it seems like the faster you go, the more stretched out the hallway becomes. Like, where you want to go to, the faster you move, it seems like the further away it's getting from you. We will move on to Quothe's turn.
Okay.
Quothe, you are in the
Snickers.
Yeah, Quothe, you're in the foyer. I'm just gonna say foyer of the house. There's like a nice like Oriental style rug on the floor. There's like the double door, the front doors. Right beside the front doors are some potted plants. There's a nice little desk that you would see like maybe in like a real fancy, guy's office, like a big hard
So it's kind of like a
wood
sitting room?
desk. It's definitely the foyer. There's the stairs that you were trying to get up to the upstairs are here. There's doors to other places in the house. This one connects to the dining room. To the dining room, 2 hallways, and a I just remembered. I should add the parlor to this list. There's also like a sitting room as well, but let's add parlor to that list.
Can I hear anything? Have I heard any noises from anybody else possibly?
Make a perception check. Yeah, so the desk has like the little bell on it. There's like a guest book on the desk, a little ink pot and a quill. Some chairs like line the walls next to the front door. Kind of like, you'd like walk into the front door. It's like potted plants on your left and right, and then along the left and right walls there's like 4 chairs, like 2 on either side, and then the desk, and then some doors. It looks like a little seating area, right? So you'd like hit the bell and then take a seat and wait for someone to come to you. With a 2 in perception, you don't know where anybody is. There was sort of creaking, elasticy noise as the house shifted, but other than that, just the sounds of your own breathing and the creaking of a floorboard here or there as you kind of walk around the front hall here.
I want to grab the bell and stick it in my pocket.
Okay.
And then I want to proceed to the dining room.
Hey, Kothe, I've got a question.
Yeah, what's that?
You wear a loincloth.
Yeah,
What
I was thinking
pocket?
about that rug.
Oh, I just thought he meant his prison pocket.
Well, I have a coin purse.
Just gonna keister that bell.
Okay.
Right?
Just gonna slide it right up in there.
Curious and in action because
it's a little cold. Refreshing.
I got the shivers.
You try to make your way into the dining room. You find that the door is closed and seemingly locked.
Okay. And there's a dining room door, you said?
Yeah, that's what you tried. You're trying to go to the dining room. That door is seemingly locked.
Okay. Okay.
This also connects to a hallway and the parlor.
Okay, let's try the parlor.
Again, door closed and seemingly locked.
Are the stairs still available?
There are stairs. Yep.
Okay. I'll go up the stairs.
All right. As you try and climb the stairs, is there anything else you want to do? Climbing up the stairs. All right. As you climb the stairs, I need everybody. I added a room, so I need everybody to make a D10. Roll a D10, and on a 10, re-roll it. Damn it, Rowan.
What do you want us to do? Sorry, I didn't.
Roll a
Roll
10.
a D10.
Yeah, as I forgot to add the parlor to my list when I was preparing this earlier today. So there's actually 9 rooms in this encounter, not 8. I knew I was forgetting something. If you roll a 10, well, I'll roll for Rowan since Jeannie just took a step away. Alrighty. So now Rowan. 7.
Hey, Quothe, rolled a 5.
Tail. Okay. So Rowan, Tail, Quothe. Vilmar's in 6. Awesome. Okay, so the house again, Quothe, after you start moving up the stairs, the house starts to bend and shift again. The floor starts to stretch, and Reshi and Vilmar, you are separated. Reshi, you end up in a hallway covered in pesto and smushed meatballs and pasta.
Oh, fun.
Vilmar, you end up in the master bedroom somehow. Like, you're on the second floor of this house already. You're like, what the heck happened?
Granny's getting second prize.
So yeah, you're in the master bedroom now, Vilmar. You can see the door is open. It's leading into a hallway. Granny's there in a leather. Granny's there in her leather negligee, and she's got a crop, and she's very upset because Rowan is no longer around, and she turns and she sees you, Vilmar, and she's like, "Oh, hello there. I guess you'll have to do for Granny tonight, soldier."
Oh man.
She starts slowly approaching you, Vilmar. Before we move on, though, Rowan, since you cast Expeditious Retreat, as the house is moving and shifting, I rolled for you a D10, since I forgot one of the rooms, and we have 9 rooms now. You are in the foyer, but with Expeditious Retreat, if you want to re-roll that D10 to try and get a different room, that is the bonus I will give you for Expeditious Retreat. As you are moving throughout the house, you have some bit of control over where you go. It's still going to be random, but if you don't like where you are, you can try and get a new location. Make sense? Rowan?
Oh shit. Sorry. Sorry. I was so distracted.
I was saying, with your Expeditious Retreat, if you don't like the result of where you've ended up in the house after the shift happens, you can roll again and try and get a better or a different
Okay,
place.
cool.
So
Sorry, I didn't see my thing up on the turn thing, so I didn't realize you were talking to me. I'm a dumbass.
No worries. But yeah, I rolled a 1 for you since you went to go get some pretzels. And so you're in the foyer right now. If you don't want to be in the foyer, feel free to re-roll that. But while you make that decision, Vilmar, Granny is she's taken a couple steps. She gets right up next to you.
Well, can you remind me real quick what happened when I attacked with my sword last time? You said things kind of
yeah. So you like try to attack the like the countertops, and when you swung your sword at the countertop, it just buckled in and stretched downwards, like with your sword, kind of like imagine like when you blow a bubble with bubble gum, right?
yeah.
And how
Okay.
yeah, like it like just deforms like that, like. And when you pull your sword back it just like pops back like back into place.
Right. Okay. So the minute the room transforms and he sees Granny, she turns and starts to step towards him. Before she can get close, he casts Sacred Flame on her.
Is that a reaction?
It's an action.
Okay, well, this is not your turn. You'll have to wait until your turn. It is Granny's turn right now.
Okay.
I guess I can. Second.
The turn order thing got me confused.
Yeah, we don't see the monster.
I mean, you guys already.
The granny.
You already ruined it and looked at it anyway.
I didn't look at it. They did.
Yeah,
I
just
didn't-
because I
I-
know the name doesn't mean they know what it is.
I immediately looked
nothing.
it up. I immediately looked it up once you were like, ooh. So I do know what it is.
Cheater.
Fun story. Fun
Everybody's
story.
gonna level up after this, except for everybody that knows what the monster is.
Well, all right.
This creature is
I don't know
very
what it is.
special in the D&D universe, not because it has some crazy ability or anything like that. It's actually a Make-A-Wish creature. The person who created it was a kid on Make-A-Wish, and yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's adorable.
I didn't know that. So she is going to she's going to come up to you, Vilmar. She says, she's like, my sweet, sweet Rowan ran away from me. I guess you'll have to do tonight, Vilmar. And she like comes in to give you a hug. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
And a prophylactic save.
wrap it before you tap it.
Oh,
folks.
6. All right. this is gonna hurt, but
Oh, no.
She is very much a top.
she is very much a top. Going to take 16 points of psychic damage. She kind of starts giving you a hug, and then her body becomes like all rubbery as she engulfs you for a moment. Your mind feels like it's on fire as every memory that you've had since you were born flashes through your mind in like 3 seconds. Just everything from your entire life flashes before your eyes.
That seems comfortable.
Yeah, you have a massive headache. And you will now have a -4
Jeez.
a minus D4 on any ability or attack roll that you make. So any skill, like, hey, if I ask you to make like, a acrobatics check or whatever, ability checks, so not saving throws, but ability checks and attack rolls, you have to subtract a D4.
So it's always a random D4.
Yeah. Okay.
How wide are the hallways?
6 feet. Not very. They're standard house hallway size, so 5-6 feet, whatever that is. But yeah, okay. So she as she pulls away from you, Vilmar, kind of that rubbery kind of just like pulling apart, right? Like if you imagine like my two hands together, like with gum stuck between them, you pull apart and you get that long string of like stretchy rubbery material. Like that happens as she pulls away from you. And as that middle part like kind of snaps and she releases from you, and her body like rubbery kind of ripples through it, her body shape changes and her face and body settle into a mirror image of you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Let's
I'm just
see.
saying, if I see a
Even-
mirror image of Jobus, I'm
even
sorry
with
if I
the glowing
accidentally
eyes?
killed you.
None of you know that this has happened.
You're right.
If you see a Vilmar, you might just think it's Vilmar.
Is that an exact copy, even with the glowing eyes?
Yes. Yeah, it's just it's a copy of you.
It's a Vilmar.
It's a Vilmar. Yeah, a wild Vilmar has appeared. Meanwhile, in the other hallway, where Reshi is, Reshi, you've seen some, you know, this splattered spaghetti all over the floor, and you see the kid. Her grandson. He's like, he's finishing up a cigarette. And he like tosses it. And he like smashes it into a meatball, and then he like rolls up another one and like lights it. He's like, "Hey, lady, you want a cigarette?"
Can
No.
I
Thank
just
you.
say real quick? I love the idea of, as these rooms just constantly change, just appearing in a room that just has spaghetti spill all over the floor. And being like, what the fuck is this?
I didn't think about that, but all right.
Yeah, it's just like
She's like,
spaghetti.
why is there spaghetti on the floor?
Yeah, and this is like a rather nice hallway too. It's got like a long
Just
oriental rug, and he's just like smashing like bits into the floorboards and into the rug and stuff. He's like, the kid says, he's like, "I thought that other kid was gonna be cool, but he wouldn't even smoke a cigarette." He's like, "Do you want a cigarette, lady?" He like lights up.
Thank you. And yeah, no. Go ahead.
It's like, what is it with you nerds? Nobody's cool. Ugh. Nobody cool
I
stays
am cool.
here.
Too cool to do drugs.
Oh my god.
Did anyone remember the like middle school anti-drug ads? that
Tail
failed
is the only
terribly?
one the DARE program actually worked on.
No.
yeah, for sure.
The only kid in history that it actually worked on. All right. Wait. Okay. So if you don't want to smoke his cigarettes, Tail, it is your turn. The floor is stretched away from you. The walls have shifted. You run into, as you're moving along, like just, you know, looking down, putting pasta on the floor. You run into something hard, but muscly, and then you look up and it's Quothe's butt. You and
I was
Quothe are together. You are in a pantry. So it's a relatively small room. It's like maybe, you know, she's like just big enough for the two of you to be in there surrounded by shelves of, you know, canned goods. Not tin cans, obviously, but like mason jars filled with like, you know, preserved lemons and various vegetables and pickles and, you know, some dry goods, you know, sacks of rice and flour, things like that. But it is dark in here. So if you guys don't have dark vision, it'd be kind of hard to like make out, you know, all of the details of this room. But yeah, you're walking along. As everything shifts around you, the trail of spaghetti is left behind, and now you are stuck in like a 7-foot long, 5-foot wide room with Quothe squeezed in there together.
Taylor is going to look up and grab Tensorio's plate and push it towards Quothe and ask if he would like some pasta. I have some pesto too.
Oh, I'm so glad I stole this book.
Indeed.
You guys are gonna hate pasta. I made that a goal when I got this book.
Hey,
any actual any actions or bonus actions you want to take, or are you just offering pasta?
I'm offering pasta, but you said that the trail of spaghetti stops at the wall now, like half a noodle in the wall.
Yep. Yeah, it literally just comes out of the back wall. Like, it doesn't even come from the door. You can see a crack of, like, the door, like, under the door, there's, like, some light pouring in. So you can kind of see, but, like, it's, you know, other than that, like, yeah, the trail of spaghetti is leading you into a wall. Like, you just, like, you can't follow it back from the way you came.
Damn you, spaghetti.
I'm gonna keep on my spaghetti path making and open the door.
Hell yeah, bud.
All right. When you
get grandma spaghetti everywhere.
when you try and open the door, it seems locked.
It seems locked, you say?
Yes.
I'm going to ask Mr. Quothe to break the door.
Okay.
He's gonna bubblegum his arm back.
I'll take us to Vilmar then, who you are standing. You're in the master bedroom. There's like a big wardrobe. There's a canopy bed. It seems like a king-sized bed. With like, you know, nice canopy over it. Some dressers. There's like a vanity, you know, like a mirror and some like makeup in there. And between you and the open door to a hallway is Granny, but not Granny now because she's you.
I'm waiting for Vilmar's nope moment.
What moment?
Your nope moment. Nope, I'm not doing that.
But yeah, Vilmar, it is your turn. So you stare down yourself in a Victorian elderly woman's bedroom. What you doing?
I cast Sacred Flame on her.
Sacred
I mean-
Flame. Dexterity. Not a good dexterity. Although I didn't roll for shit. All right.
Per the usual.
As per the usual.
I don't think we've ever gotten in a situation where you were rolling hot.
Listen.
I don't know. He did pretty good just a second ago when he hit Job.
Rachel, we
Yeah.
can hear your phone call.
Roll
Okay, there we go.
2d8 equals 2
Two
plus
threes
8.
and 2 5s. Oh, well, that's average. This literally average. All right.
I was hoping she was going to say some shit about chat.
You do some. You toss out your sacred flame and the holy fire of the Justicar hits you, but not you, the other you, and kind of sears like a little bit in his shoulder, and he says, naughty naughty, you shouldn't be using your magic against yourself. As the kind of like the smoke like drifts off, you see like this singed thing after he takes the radiant damage, but then the wound sort of just like ripples like and like reforms like your shoulder armor that was like damaged. It just looks perfectly fine at this point. Anything else, bonus action movement that you want to try and make?
What's the healing potion thing? Is it 2d?
A regular healing potion is 2d4 plus 2.
2d.
Yeah.
So it's plus 2, you said, right? So it's 9.
Yes. Yeah. 2d4 plus 2. So yeah, the bonus to a healing potion For the ones that you're most likely to find in game are always the bonus is always the number of d4 that you roll. So 2d4 plus 2, 4d4 plus 4, 8d8 plus 8. I believe is the way that works. And then I think there's another one above that, which is like 10d8 plus 20, or I don't remember. Or 10d4 plus 20. There's one where like it doesn't, like the highest one doesn't mesh correctly. But I rarely ever give those out to people because they're honestly like the superior healing potion's usually enough to get even a high level character like healed up really well.
Now, the question is also, so obviously radiant damage hurts this thing. Did it take damage from when I hit it the first time with my sword? Since it does have radiant damage on it. And it's a
you
natural weapon.
attacked a countertop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the countertop you said recoil too, just like or spongy.
True. Yeah. Looks like a lot of stuff is made out of rubber in here.
Okay.
I'm just double checking. Yeah. Your condition immunity. Nothing about radiant. Yeah. Nope. She takes radiant damage. You did not seem to damage the countertop at all.
Okay.
But this creature in front of you has taken damage. Like visibly, noticeably taken damage.
Okay. All right, and then as a bonus action, I'll cast Divine Favor on me.
Ooh, nice.
Gonna counteract that negative D4 with a positive D4.
Well, you made an attack and you drank a potion as a bonus action, so that is unless you.
Oh, that's
Yeah, unless you're moving.
No,
that's your.
I forgot the yeah, it is mine.
All right.
I forgot the potion there for a second.
So Reshi, you again, you're in a hallway. There's a kid offering you cigarettes. He's got a knife, and you can see that there's some like, in air quotes, swear words carved into the wall. You refuse his cigarette, so he starts taking his knife, and you can see that he's carving the word butt into the wall now. There's pasta all over the floor, with pesto sauce. What you doing, Reshi?
I'm going to, before I follow the trail, going to get down really close to his face.
Yeah.
And just tell him he needs to get over the shit that he's seen and be a good boy. And if he's big enough to smoke cigarettes, then he's big enough to be a man and stop acting like a child. I'm going to take the cigarette away from him and smash it out. And then I like to follow the trail of spaghetti because I'm pretty sure that Sangretti or Tail has left it there.
I mean, he did serve you a big spaghetti dinner, so.
I'm feeling, yeah, and knowing Tail enough, I would feel like he was doing that. So I'm going to follow that swiftly.
Right.
I might add.
I'd like to point out, it hasn't been 24 hours since this whole explosion thing. Tail is still drunk on goblin's blood. That's why he's so okay with it and just walking with a plate of pasta. That's good enough for him.
As you turn and walk away from this kid, this is a 9. 9's not gonna hit you. You kind of catch out of the corner of your eye, the kid try to like punch you in the back of the knee, but you're like real nimble and quick, and you're already out of his reach by the time he tries to punch you.
Can't punch him in the knee.
Yeah,
Can't
like,
punch Reshi in the knee.
As a woman, I'm sure you've never experienced this, but back when I was like in elementary school, and middle school, when you were a little boy in the bathroom, standing at the urinal,
Fucking asshole.
people would come up behind you and punch you in the back of the knee to try and make you pee everywhere. So he tries to do that to you, like punch you in the knee so that your leg goes out from under you, but he misses because his opportunity.
You had a
attack.
weird childhood. That did not
I'm going to
happen
give him a
to me.
really nasty look.
Yeah, no.
No, I definitely know what he's
like
talking
truth
about.
time.
No,
like,
I totally yeah.
I
I know what he's
honestly,
talking
I
about.
only pee in stalls now. I don't use it here because I'm to this day. I can't anxiety in a public
Well,
bathroom.
I didn't get that. I
So-
didn't get that part, but I definitely know there used to be a name for it, and if I'm not mistaken, the name is like kind of politically incorrect.
Yeah, I don't. There was no name for it. Just
Yeah, there's a name
bullies-
for it.
Bullies would do that to us nerds. That's all I remember.
Dad does that to
Um,
me all the time. I'm
Try
Try being married to a woman that pees standing up. It's rough.
I don't pee standing up. Not like peeing. Damn it. I just mean standing there. I didn't think Chad said my dad.
God damn it! Somebody clip that, please.
Oh,
I'm trying to be married to a woman.
You do it too.
So
Catches me all the time.
Reshi, you start.
Well, why do you
moving
think
down-
Rachel wears the pants in the family?
I had a completely different image of that event. She was just comfortably using the restroom, and he just busts the door down and punches her in the thigh while she's just sitting on the shitter.
No, I said my dad will walk up behind me and knock my knee out, not Chad.
Okay. This is
God
supposed to
damn
be
it.
a spooky night, not a funny night.
Really
God
spooked
damn.
right now.
Anyway, Reshi, as you start moving away from this kid who tried to like knock you off balance, you start moving away and following the trail of spaghetti. The hallway kind of seems to stretch away from you as you try and like walk down it. And eventually you are making ground, but like the hallway just seems to get longer and longer as you move until you come to the end of the trail of spaghetti. It just ends. Perfectly straight line. Just ends. There's no, like, literally like some drops of like pesto or like seemingly cut in half by a razor blade. Just perfectly straight line in the middle of the hallway. Just ends. You can walk past it, walk back. Like, there's no invisible walls there or anything like that. Chad is mean. Oh, nice. Thank you, Jeannie. Yeah, it just ends.
Thank you.
As you move along in the hallway. Are there any actions, bonus actions that you want to take before we move on? You've used your movement.
I kind of want to. No, that doesn't make sense. No, I'm not going to do anything.
Okie dokie. Rowan, it's your turn. You didn't re-roll or anything, so you are in the foyer. You're in the front hallway. Again, nice oriental rug. There's like 2 chairs flanking the side walls of this place, kind of near the front door where there's like
Do I
some
see any
potted
windows?
plants. Yeah, there's some windows that are right next to the front door. You can like kind of see out of them. I mean, it's dark outside, but you can kind of see out to the front porch. The bell from the front desk is missing, but the guest book is still there. There's the stairway that he heads upstairs. There's a door to a hallway, a door to the parlor, and a door to the dining room, but all the doors are closed.
Let's see here. What do I have in my bag of goodies that might
Is now the time he throws the beans on the ground?
yeah.
Just fuck it.
You could try your wand of conducting. I don't know if it would
I'm-
do any good, but it'd be
I'm
entertaining.
actually gonna try to catch the house on fire. I'm gonna grab one of my alk fire flasks and immediately start a fire in the house.
Alrighty. Yeah, you throw the alchemist. Where are you throwing it? What are you trying to burn? It only does a 5-foot area. of
I'm
flame,
just
I
trying to
believe.
catch the house on fire, so I don't give a shit. Throw it at a wall.
Okay. You just fucking huck this thing at a wall. Covers it in liquid fire. The room starts to fill with a black smoke. Not good. It smells like burning tires.
Nice.
As the room fills with smoke. That was your action. You mean bonus actions? Movement you want to do?
Let's see here. What do I got for anything good? I mean, I can't really leave this room. It all just fucking changes every time we. Can as action. There's really nothing to do here.
Alrighty.
There's nothing really I can do here.
In that case,
I mean, yeah. There's nothing I can do.
all right, Quothe, you've been offered a plate of spaghetti in a pantry closet.
I'm going.
You feel as you kind of turn, because Tail's now in here with you, as the room has shrunk and darkened and grown, shelves of food out of the walls. You turn and kind of look at him, and you feel a piece of heated chain smack you in the face. Because you're tall enough for that to happen.
Okay, I'll reach up and pull the chain.
A
While
little lamp turns on with a soft glowing blue light. Seems like a little enchanted lamp in here, like the light spell. The room lights up. Tail's standing there. He's got a plate of pasta pesto, and you're in a small pantry. Not much room to maneuver. I believe Tail told you to break the door down. Yeah, you're just in a pantry. Lots of dry goods. Like I said, stored food, preserved. Jars of vegetables and stuff, pickled everything that you can pickle.
Okay, I think I'll follow his advice and see if I can't get this door open.
Okay. How are you going to attack, or how are you going to try and do this?
It's just a regular door.
Just seemingly a normal locked door. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stick my great sword, I guess, near the door handle and try to pry it open.
Okay. It's a pretty tight space. I'm gonna have you roll this at disadvantage. It's just awkward with such a large weapon to try this maneuver. We can roll an attack just with disadvantage.
I just had the mental image of him trying to credit card swipe a door with a great sword.
Tail, will you please roll a dexterity saving throw for me? Alright.
Not my worst.
Not your worst. Indeed.
Get your dice ready. I have 2 attacks.
12 is good enough. You're not going to take any damage. Kothe, your sword kind of gets jammed. You're trying to pry this door open. It's not going well at all. And all of a sudden, all that pressure of pushing on it, on the the lock in the door jam, whatever it's called, the actual thing that goes from the locking mechanism into the door. Your sword kind of slips on it, and the pommel of the sword strikes the plate of spaghetti in Tail's hand, and Tail just gets covered in pasta.
No.
Well, we know what he's going to cast next round.
So the door's stuck
My
closed.
spaghetti!
There's literally no space for you to move. So unless you have a bonus action that you want to try and do, we will.
I don't get my second attack.
You could, yeah, you could try it again. I mean, you do have extra attack. It's still a disadvantage.
Okay, since that thing's wedged, can I use a different weapon? No, I can't.
I mean, you could. Your scythe is even larger, though.
Would he get double disadvantage since he's not using his
No.
sword he's obsessed with?
Double disadvantage.
I mean, the sword's not, like, it's not stuck in the door. It just, you were pushing on that door handle area, and your sword just, like, slipped off of the locking mechanism, which caused the handle to lower really quickly, and it smacked the plate of spaghetti into Tails' face.
Should I put a magic bean in the lock? What do you think?
A magic what?
Bean.
I don't think
Piece
you
of pea.
can plant. Yeah.
I also thought he said peen. I was
Or
like,
pea. I was
Can I
like,
put my
what?
magic bean in there?
I was
mean,
like,
man, you're thinking real highly of yourself right now.
yeah, I
in
was
this
like, his
closet.
confidence is really on point today.
I feel that it's very on brand that Quothe would get trapped, realize the walls are rubbery and sticky, and this guy just stick his dick in it. Yeah.
No. Oh no.
4 little doors appear.
Yeah, again with your only rolling a 9 on that one. Not a critical fail. His tail's just like covered in pasta. You're trying to maneuver this like sight. Oh, sorry, it's still cannibal pest. So you're trying to remove your sword around here. Again, you kind of fail. The door's not budging at all. With that 9. Kind of just as you're trying to like wrench it back and forth to try and pry the door open. You're just like knocking like jars of pickles off the thing. They're smashing on the floor. Like leaving shards of glass and stuff on the floor of this room. But as you're trying to escape, and as we go to break here, because I gotta pee real bad, the hallways and rooms start deforming, and the house starts shifting its layout again. You guys can roll your D10s. Remember, if you get a 10, re-roll it, and Genie, if you don't like your result, you can also re-roll it for your expeditious retreat. But we are going to head over to take a break. We'll be back in a little under 10 minutes, everybody.
If you roll a 10, re-roll, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Re-roll there's only 9 rooms, 9 places you can be. So if you roll a 10, re-roll
So
it.
why don't we just roll a 1d9?
Because you'd have to type that in, and that's dumb.
Oh, that's what I do anyway, so
Oh, fair enough.
I guess I'm just dumb.
Well, there's like over on the left-hand side of your so if you're like looking at the stream, over on the left-hand side there's a little chart that you can just click the standard dice. I mean, if you want to roll a D9 because you're typing it in anyway, that's fine. You can do that too. But anyway.
Do I travel with him because I'm like touching him at this point, or?
Nope. You will be separated. Reshi and Vilmar will be back together again, though. When we get back, we'll find out where you are. And we're back. Hope you had a nice break. Let us go in here. I gotta update my list for where everybody is in the house. But Vilmar, you were facing down a copy of yourself after Granny kind of absorbed you and then turned into you. Quothe just knocked a plate of 33 pounds of spaghetti on top of Tail while they were in the pantry. Reshi totally just dissed a kid, and he tried to punch her in the back of the leg and missed.
He deserved it.
Let's see. So, Vilmar.
I don't think she dissed the kid. She mothered the kid.
I did, mother.
Quothe's over there.
All we were missing was Quothe coming by and saying, "I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed."
So you okay? So Jeannie, you are at room.
You went to 2.
It's Rachel. She's in room 7. Interesting. You didn't even move.
I didn't move. No, I got stuck in the same stupid hallway. Little shithead with a knife and a cigarette.
Yeah. Hey. I need one thing real quick. Uh-oh. Oh, there's one. That. All right. So, this is fun. This is where it's going to start to get kind of funky, guys. So I just rolled. It's gonna be very apparent really soon. But I just rolled a D100 here. And then I rolled a D10. And on the top of the turn order, the top of the round, as the creepy creature's turn approaches, the hallways stretched out in front of you, Reshi. You know, you're at the end point of a trail of spaghetti that just abruptly ends in the middle of the hall. I just read Jerome's message. Thank you, Jerome. Yeah, the the end of the break. This Saturday, a week from today. Also, why is my light so dark? Oh, because it's not even on. Turn my light off.
Weird how that works.
Yeah.
I think you're trying to be spoopy.
I didn't even realize that. Anyway, yeah, this Saturday, Jerome, week from tonight, after D&D, we're gonna watch both the Ace Venturas in my Discord. But yeah, so the hallways like stretch super far away from you, Reshi, and then it just snaps back, and you're kind of like thrown off balance a little bit because the floor got a little rubbery and whatnot. But Vilmar is there with you now, and he's just like, oh my god, Reshi, what the heck is going on? And he runs up and he's gonna give you a big old hug because he's so happy to see you. Do you let him do this?
Do I have to hug him back?
You don't have to, but you know, it's Vilmar.
He doesn't hug people.
He's really freaked out, you know? He's gonna try and hug you. So do you let him hug you or not?
Oh, I don't feel comfortable with that because Vilmar doesn't hug people. Vilmar's very like Vilmar. But if I have to let him hug me, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't. And I'm not a hugger by nature.
Yeah, you're like not having it. As he like wraps his arms around you. He's all sticky and gross now, and he like absorbs you. Since you're not letting him do this, since you're trying to resist, you will be able to make a wisdom saving throw. So roll that wisdom saving throw. If you had just let him, if you were just like, yeah, Vilmar, oh my god, I'm so happy, I would have just had this happen to you.
It doesn't fit the characters though, so no, I would not have.
All right. Let me see here. Does it even say? Okay, you're gonna take half of this damage. So you take 9 points of psychic damage. Whatever this creature is, this sticky, gross version of Vilmar who smells slightly of sulfur as he absorbs you into his body and he pulls away from you rather quickly. You take 9 points of psychic damage as it tries to, like, you kind of get, like, broken fragments of your memories, like, flashing through your head, and it's, like, burning your mind. But as Vilmar steps away from you, like, pulls back from you, still Vilmar, you're not memory drained, like the real Vilmar is. He looks very frustrated. You see the kid, he's like lighting another cigarette, and he's kind of like flipping his knife a little bit more ominously now. That is gonna be their turn. Tail, you're back in the dining room. There's some cake on the left out on the dining room table. But everything else has seemingly magically been, like, cleaned up. If you want, you're still covered in the remnants of pasta, but your plate is, I guess, now empty, and the massive 33 pounds of pasta is left behind you in the pantry where you just were. The doors in the dining room are both closed, but one leads to the kitchen and one leads to the foyer. There's a couple of windows you can see out of the house. Out of the front windows, you see the wraparound porch over here, and out the other two windows, you can see there's like a hedge row, like really tall hedges that separate the property of this Victorian style house from the neighboring establishments.
I assume for the moment I'm in the middle of the room.
You're not in the middle of the room. No, that's the table is in the middle of the room. You're standing next to the table.
Okay, I am going to cast Thunderclap to blow the pasta off me with a pressure wave.
That's a lot.
Nice.
It's dual purpose. Basically now I'm alone and I'm not comfortable being alone, so it's to let people know where I am.
Fair enough. All right, you thunderclap. Everybody in the house hears it. But due to the strange magic, you guys, let's see, Rowan, you're in the kitchen. You hear it coming from the dining room because you're literally like adjacent. Vilmar, you also hear it coming from the dining room. Because you're actually in the foyer. I rolled a D100. If I get above 100, he's where he actually is. I rolled like a 12, and then I was like, okay, so I have to re-roll for Vilmar. Fake Vilmar went to where you rolled, and you ended up in the foyer. Quothe, you hear the thunder, but you're not sure where it is. Reshi, you also hear the thunder, but you're not sure where it's coming from in the house. In the dining room, though, as you cast Thunderclap, you do blast your all your pasta off of you. It splatters on the walls. Some painting that was like above there's like a little fireplace in there. There's like a painting above it. It falls and like shatters on the ground. Like the frame like cracks and stuff. The table is like rage flipped, and like the cake goes flying. The table crashes and like a leg of it breaks off. It seems like a real table, not made of rubber. The cake splatters against one of the windows in the front of the house here. But yeah, any bonus actions?
I am going to walk to the kitchen because it's the nearest place I can think might have a sink to clean myself up with.
Fair enough. The door is closed and locked.
Is there a keyhole?
There is a keyhole.
Can I try and look through the keyhole?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Perception. That one.
Hey, you see the kitchen on the other side of the keyhole there, and you see a Rowan who's coughing lightly from breathing in some black smoke.
Can I take a piece of pasta on the wall and push it through the keyhole?
Yes. It's not what I thought you were gonna do, but yes, you can. I thought you were gonna misty step through the keyhole.
You know, I would love to do that, but I don't know that spell.
Oh damn. Yeah, you stick a piece of pasta through the keyhole. We'll move
The
on.
pasta walker over here.
Vilmar, you are in the foyer. The room is quickly filling with black smoke that smells like burning tires. The wall and part of the ceiling are on fire, and long, gooey, snot-like strands of rubbery stuff are starting to form like stalactites on the ceiling as that starts to like melt this rubbery stuff. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you're breathing in this black smoke that's like filling up this room.
My bad.
17. Very good. You're gonna take 3 points of poison damage.
My bad.
From breathing in burning tire fumes, burning rubber, basically.
Oops.
But it's your turn, kind of amidst your coughing in this smoke-filled room. Oh, what you gonna do?
My turn's gonna be real fast. I'm going to, as my action, use my channel divinity to use sacred weapon, and then bonus action.
I thought me and Vilmar were. I thought we were in the same room.
No, he did some
No,
behind the things.
That was fake
thing.
Vilmar.
He made me roll for fake Vilmar.
Okay.
Oh, I made you roll, then I rolled a D100 to see if that was your actual roll or not.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
So,
Okay,
That's
got
clever.
So, and then bonus action is cast divine favor on me.
Oh, I should have made a key out of the pasta.
So that's what I'm doing. My turn.
Add your charisma modifier to attack rolls. Also, it's bright light.
He's basically prepping in case next time he runs into one of these assholes, he's gonna take a swing at him.
Tail and Quothe, make a perception check for me. Anything else that you want to do on your turn, Vilmar?
No, there's nothing else to do. So.
Okidoki. Quothe notices nothing.
Oh, I did the advantage, disadvantage. I still have that on there.
Your first roll was still a 3 anyway.
Yeah.
Sync ready with a 10. You're also looking through another keyhole and not through that door. I'm gonna say a 10 isn't enough either to notice the bright lights coming in through the cracks under the door, from the foyer. That's gonna take us to Reshi. Now, Reshi, Vilmar does not have a habit of hugging people. That's true. When he does hug people, wrestles with enemies and stuff, he also does not have a habit of engulfing them with his rubbery body like he did to you.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that it isn't Vilmar, but if it is Vilmar, that's definitely something new that you've never seen him do ever before. And as a human, you don't think that he is even possible for him to do. But you
So I'm
never
gonna
know.
punch.
It's a magic word.
I'm gonna punch the everlasting fuck out of him. Hopefully.
So what
Fair
you're
enough.
saying,
Correctly.
Beth, is Vilmar is sus.
Yeah,
Very sus.
Vilmar, totally sus. Pink
I don't know if I
sus.
can punch this particular creature, but I'm going to try. So that's
You
all I can
try.
do.
This is true.
I think it's real Vilmar.
My stuff
Yeah,
is lagging,
it's
so give it a
real.
second.
Hey, you know, it's
Ooh.
it's more hidden features of the eyes. You also become rubbery. 18 will hit for 9. 23 will hit as well. So those are your attack and your extra attack. Are you gonna flurry as well, or are you gonna just leave it? Flurry. Okay. Remember, if you want to do stunning strike, that's like also like a thing you can try and do.
You can also push him away from you or try to knock him down with your punches because you're an awesome monk.
How do I roll that, guys?
You just say
Stunning
that you're gonna
strike
do
is
that
you just
spell.
want to like stunning strike or push someone, and that's a saving throw on my part. But the 19 will also hit, so you can roll damage for that, and still have another flurry attack as well. You get 2 unarmed strikes for flurry of blows. And another 19. Yeah, you're all 4 of your attacks. You just whap, 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 whap. Just like smacking the crap out of this non-Vilmar. You're like, as you punch, you smack him in the face, and his face like deforms and like shoots off to the side and kind of sticks there. And then you like punch him like in the neck, and his neck like shifts over to the side and kind of sticks there for a little bit. You like kick him in the leg, and it like deforms a little bit, and then you do one of those like palm strikes like to the middle of the chest. You just leave like a hand impression in his chest for a little bit. You see like little bits of like rubbery ooze goop stuff like flying off of him here and there. Definitely going to take some damage. But then, those misshapen like smeared his face like over like his jaws like over like a foot away from like the rest of his head. It like stays that way for like a second, and then it just his body
Of
wiggles
course.
as he like pops back into like his normal form. But he's definitely gonna take some of this damage.
Rach, remember, whenever you hit someone with your flurry of blows, you can choose to make them make a dexterity check, or they can be knocked prone if they fail, or a strength check to push them away. And it can't take
But-
reactions until the end of your next turn because you hit it with your flurry of blows.
Am I too late to do that?
Yes.
Okay, I figured I was.
Okay. Yeah, you have to say stunning strike or push or knock them down, like all the
Gotcha.
augments. You
Okay.
have to say that as you're attacking, or at least
But
before I like say what happens. And
No, that's
just
fine.
take
Yeah,
it.
I respect that. So in the future, the next time I do this, I could do my my flurry and then say I want this to be this.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
just knock them down. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You already spent the key
Mhm.
to do the flurry of blows. So
Okay, that's good stuff to know.
So the knocking them down is just like a thing that you can do, like if you want to with flurry. If you want to do stunning strike, that costs an extra key.
Got you. Okay.
It's a little bit more powerful than just knocking them.
I've only been playing this like 30 weeks, so
Yeah,
I should know this by now, but I don't.
As after this version of Vilmar kind of snaps back to his more Vilmar looking form, you do see his left cheek, where you gave him that right hook that sent his jaw like sliding a foot away from the rest of his head. You can see like his left cheek and his left eye starting to droop a little bit, almost like melted like candle wax or something.
fun.
along those
Okay.
lines. It's like starting to kind of like Yeah, it's like it's kind of looking like he's taking a bit of damage from you beating the crap out of him.
Right, that's good. That's a good thing.
I think that was your turn. We'll go over to Rowan now. Rowan, you are in the kitchen. I need you to give me a perception check.
Where's my percent?
It's fine.
Tell me everything I need to know.
Does he see the pasta?
You taking it all in. You've been, you've been sliding all around this place. There was a creepy old lady trying to get in your pants, trying to burn down the house with some alchemist fire. Now you're like in the kitchen, where you can see like, there's like the oven, and the stovetop and a bunch of cabinets and a little kitchen table. You see a worm? No, not a worm.
It could be a worm.
A piece of spaghetti wiggling out of a keyhole in the door that leads to the dining room.
Can I
Can you put your mouth on it and slurp up the pasta?
No. Let's see here.
It is delicious pesto pasta.
Can you imagine just slurping it out of a keyhole, though?
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure that there's a Rule 34 of that somewhere.
Does anything look out of place in the kitchen?
No, not really.
Just looks like a kitchen, huh?
Yeah, there's like some dishes on a drying rack near the sink. There's, an oven that's maybe like 135 degrees now, as it's, been turned off for a while after baking a cake. Cupboards are all nice and neat. The kitchen the kitchen table looks like it's been wiped down recently. Yeah, nothing. There's like a little bit of a dent. It's like a little bit of almost looks like someone took like a cleaver and just like boom into like the corner of one of the counters. Just like a little bit of like a wedge in a counter. That's about it. One of the window panes is like a little bit almost looks like the glass wasn't made very well. There's like, it's sort of warped. One of the panes is a little bit warped. But nothing, like, nothing that is like, oh man, they really need to get someone in here to fix this shit. Now, the most unusual thing is the pasta in the keyhole.
The pasta wiggling through the keyhole?
Yeah, that's like the most unique thing in here right now. Other than that, it just smells like cinnamon and vanilla and frosting and,
Is there any more? Is there any more cake?
There was. The cake was in the dining room, but Tail just rage flipped the dining room table with his thunderclap spell, and the cake got splattered all over the wall.
Sorry.
There's like cupboards cupboards and stuff in the kitchen that you could like go through if you wanted.
Can I yell out? Like, can anybody hear me?
What you gonna say?
I guess like I have like a what's that wand called? The one that was given to me.
The Wand of Conducting.
What's that do again?
Yeah, what does that do again?
Allows him to summon the sound of an orchestra. He just has to conduct with the little wand. Music can be heard out to 60 feet. Ends when you stop waving the wand.
Okay. So if I wanted to, let's say, I'm trying to figure out where everybody else is, and like Rowan's very confused right now, and he just wants to know where everybody in the house is.
Right.
So let's just say like he started playing some music. Like he started playing some music.
Okay.
He was just like,
Sound is cutting out.
He's peeking his mic again.
I'm peeking my mic.
Yeah,
I
it's
turned
not
my
coming
mic down.
through.
Oh, well, that's not good. I guess nobody can hear me then.
I can hear the music.
Well, I basically just asked, can anybody hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you heard the thunder from the dining room. Tail, you can hear the music coming from the kitchen. Everybody else can hear the music, but you don't know where it's coming from.
Sure.
So,
I mean, this is like a really spooky night.
Yeah, if you haven't picked it up so far, if you're in an adjacent room, you can hear what's happening in the other adjacent rooms. So right now, the kitchen is connected to the pantry and the dining room. The pantry is only connected to the kitchen. The dining room is connected to the kitchen and the foyer. The foyer is connected to the upstairs hallway, the downstairs hallway, the parlor, and the dining room. The
Sure.
upstairs hallway is connected to the master bedroom, and the parlor is only connected to.
So did Tails hear that?
Yes, Tails heard that. Everybody
Okay.
hears it. Tail knows it's
Did
coming
he-
from the kitchen. He
did
also
he
saw
respond?
you in the kitchen.
Did he respond at all?
Does Tail respond at all? That's
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to respond that, I can hear him and I'm in the dining room. I'm also going to keep shoving pasta through the keyhole.
God damn it.
So yeah, you hear Tail. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Raw, I can't hear you." And you see the longest thread of pasta that you've ever seen is coming out of the keyhole and is starting.
Can I open this goddamn door?
Starting to coil on the floor, like a rope. This one long strand of pasta is just coiling on the floor.
Oh my
As he
god.
feeds it through. It's like a never-ending strand of spaghetti. You can. I think the wand takes an
The wand
action.
was my action. Son of a. All right, well just
Um,
cast expeditious retreat again. So I've still got the. What's
It's
up to
not
10 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You still have that.
Okay.
Nothing's happened to you.
I don't really have anything else I can do here.
Well, it takes us to the end of the round here with King Money. You, King Money, are you're in the downstairs hallway. You can hear some music playing from somewhere. You heard the thunder coming from somewhere in the house, and you can just start to smell the smell of like burning tires. You're not affected by that yet, but you can you're just like, I think something might be burning someplace nearby.
Okay, can I head in the direction of these sounds and smells?
Yes, you can. You're trying to get someplace specific, with the location, with like two of the, got like you're trying to triangulate. I will let you re-roll your die as well on the next shift. Is there anything else you want to do before we do the shift?
Not that I can think of. Nope, I'll let it go and we'll see how it plays out.
All right. Need everyone to roll that D9 or D10, whatever's easiest for you. Remember, if you're rolling a D10 and you get a 10 to re-roll it.
That's twice now.
Maybe.
Hey! Room 4 is a good room.
Fresh. Here. Very fun.
Just I get away from that psycho, I'm fine.
Where's here now? And let's see if fun times, guys. Fun times. All right. All right. All right. Guess that's actually not really gonna matter, but okay. Nobody's there. Okay, let me roll for interesting. All right. We will go to tail. Tail and Rowan, you are now in the downstairs hallway as everything is shifted. You guys are together. You're in the hallway. There's like a door thingy at either end of the hallway. One looks like a back door that would lead into the backyard. The other one looks like it leads back into the foyer. Everything else is just a small, short little hallway. It's like maybe 10 feet long, 5 feet wide. It's almost just like almost like a mud room, you know, like a place where you'd like come in from the outside, like take off your muddy shoes, leave them there, and then go into the rest of the house. There's no doors to any of the other rooms. It's literally just a short hallway from the backyard to the front hallway, the foyer, if you will. There are some muddy children's shoes and a pair of woman's galoshes here, kind of covered in mud. There's a small table here, you know, it's like a couple candles and a pot of flowers on it. But other than that, the decorations are rather sparse. But you are together. If there is anything you guys would like to do, Tail, it's your turn first.
I would like to try the back door and see if it opens.
The door is locked.
Tail is officially frustrated. He's going to take 10 steps back and hit the door with lightning bolt.
Okie dokie.
Oh God.
Casting lightning bolt.
House mega deck save.
Yeah. Just roll the damage for me because you're hitting a door. Let's see, 28 damage. Nice. You guys have an opportunity for escape.
Sacramento politician
That does enough damage to the door that he blows open a hole about half the size of the door. Tail, you can make a dexterity check, like an acrobatics check if you want, to try and rush through that hole. It's starting to close up. As soon as like the damage is done, a split second goes by and it starts kind of like growing that hole back together. Rowan, if you're trying to escape, the hole is only the size of half a door, so you'd have to crawl through it. So this your acrobatics, or you guys could use athletics if you wanted. I don't think either of you have that great of a strength though. But acrobatics or athletics, Tail, you just make a straight roll, and Rowan, yours is at disadvantage because you're big.
I can't leave the house.
Okay. So you decide to stay. A 12 is just enough. Tail, you're out of here. You dive into the backyard through the makeshift doggy door, and you turn back to, hoping to see Rowan come for you, and you just see him just frozen in the moment of like, I can't, he won't, like, something in his eyes just say that he won't let himself escape this house, and you see the door just knit itself back together. That will take us to Vilmar's turn.
I honestly didn't expect you to stay in the house. That fucked my whole idea there. I was just like, all right, cool. We'll get outside the house and then we'll figure something out. Nope.
My bad.
Vilmar, Reshi, you guys are back together. Very close quarters. You are in the pantry. I need both of you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, as your room is filled with pasta and broken glass.
Why is my
Alright.
dex at 6 and then I hit a 9?
You rolled a 3 plus 6.
Yeah. You rolled a 3.
Hmm.
Yummy.
I find it funny the guy in plate is the one who
Right.
rolls the high deck.
Vilmar, you slip a little bit and kind of crash into like the shelves, and more of the jars of pickles and stuff kind of fall to the floor and crash, putting more broken glass in here. Reshi, you take a full 6 damage, piercing damage, as you slip on the pasta on the floor. It's like real slick pesto sauce all over this, like, tiled floor in this pantry. Your foot just whoop right out from under you. You just land, boom, flat on your back, just in a pile of broken glass, and you take 6
It's a hell of a
piercing-
fall.
Yeah, you take 6 piercing. Well, you're only wearing cloth monk robes, It's like glass just right into your back and your butt. You get it stings because there's like pesto in the wounds. And like pickle brine as well. It's not comfortable, but you take a little damage, 6 piercing damage there. As you guys you're in the pantry. Now remember, Reshi, you don't know if this is the real Vilmar or not. Okay? You literally just got absorbed by a guy who looked exactly like Vilmar, and now you're in a very confined space with Vilmar. However, it is
Yeah, he's gonna have to convince me.
It is Vilmar's turn. Vilmar, you don't know that happened, but it is your turn. As you crash, you'll kind of slip and catch yourself on one of the shelves and kind of take a little bludgeoning damage there. Dump some of the pickles on the floor as Reshi falls into the broken glass. What are you gonna do?
So there's a door in here. That's what, right?
Yep, there's one door out of here. You're
Well-
basically in a walk-in closet. Is basically what you're filled with, non-perishables.
Well, I'm just going
Well,
And pasta.
and pasta.
check the door.
The door is locked.
I said attack, not try to open it.
Oh, I thought you said check. Sorry.
No, attack the door.
Yes. Okay. Attack the door. Reshi, you see Vilmar trying to attack the door. 17. You do get your extra attack as well.
Let me do the 1d4 minus.
Oh yeah. Minus the
So
D4.
16, then add 2. So 18.
Yep. I mean, you're hitting a
Uh,
door, so that'll.
The door's AC. What's the door's AC?
That damage. Then this
10,
damage.
5 maybe.
14 damage.
Okay.
I think the door would have really high AC.
All right.
Well,
Anything happen to the door?
things have changed since the last time people have attacked the actual house.
This is true. Yeah.
But yeah, you do have extra attack if you wish to take that extra attack. That 14 You do attack the door, but your sword just kind of goes into like through the door. It's not like you didn't shatter it open or anything.
All right. Well, keep hacking at it. Oops.
But with,
Vilmar
with
and
extra,
his deep distrust of doors.
but with your extra attack and stuff, you attack quickly enough that I'm gonna add the damage like together. See if you can make maybe a daring escape into the kitchen. Ooh, -3.
11 plus 2, so back to 13.
13 on that. 13's
Gotta
gonna
miss-
hit the door.
That.
Alrighty. That is definitely enough. You're able, as you basically stab the door and then you rip open like a long slice. It kind of hangs open, kind of like two curtains, but like are attached at the top and bottom. They kind of open in this sort of oval shape. Just long enough. If you want to hop through, it's going to be acrobatics or athletics. Reshi, your turn. You're in the same room. Your turn's basically happening at the same time. If you want to get through there, you are prone, so I'm going to have you make the check, acrobatics or athletics at disadvantage for being prone. But it is a pretty big, gaping hole that you guys can try and squeeze through there. I believe that's over 30 damage, so. Ooh, 7. You flounder on the floor in all the broken glass and pickle juice. Just can't get a purchase on the ground to get through that door. Vilmar.
You can blame your husband. It's his
18.
fault.
18. You slice it open, hop through the door, turn around and kind of hold your hand out for Reshi, as she's floundering on the floor trying to get up and like reaching at your hand, the door just seals itself and separates you two. Vilmar, you are now in the kitchen. You've used your action. You still have some movement and a bonus action, I believe. But you're in the kitchen now. Over by the kitchen door to the dining room, there is a long thread of spaghetti that is just coiled on the floor a couple of times and then hanging from the lock in the door. You see a little chip in the counter where you attacked it with your sword at the beginning of all this. But yeah, Reshi is stuck in the pantry and you are in the kitchen.
And no one else is in the kitchen?
No one else is in the kitchen. I don't think so. Let me double check. Yeah, no one else is in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's it for me then.
Okie dokie. Reshi, you can stand up now with half of your move speed. Trying to, be careful of all the broken glass and slippery pasta in the room.
Right.
Are there any particular actions that you want to try and do here? You just saw Vilmar bust through this door, this rubbery, slimy door.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my katana.
Cool.
I like it.
Bust through the door also.
Spooky Sprinkles coming in, summoning minions. I like it.
Do I get 2 without using a key or just 1?
You only get 2 attacks without using key. Because you make an attack and then you have
Okay.
extra attack as a monk. So the way extra attack works is when you make the attack action, you make two weapon attacks. So you
Right.
attack again with your katana. Now, if you wanted to, you can flurry of blows, but the flurry have to be they're unarmed strikes. So when you click that flurry of blows button, that is an unarmed strike, like on your character sheet. It says flurry of blows, but the
Yeah.
dice rolls and damage are all your unarmed strike. So you could.
Yeah, so my key's like down in my health too, so I'm just gonna do what I did and then hope that's
Okay.
enough.
16 damage is not quite enough to make a hole open large enough for you.
Okay.
But you can, if there's like, I guess like Vilmar, if there's an item, like you have enough time and space that you could like bonus action cast a spell on each other, or pass like a potion back and forth, like exchange an item, something like that. Words of encouragement. I
Yes.
don't know. There's enough space. It's
Give me
like,
that sweet help.
yeah, it's like a head sized. You're like cut it open. Not quite as strong as Vilmar to cut a slice into the door enough for you to get through. But you could pass something back and forth if you wish. Bonus action spell, something like that.
Jovis.
Do you have a health pot? Can you heal me?
You've only taken like 3 points of damage or 6 points. Is that all?
No, Bo, I'm down to like 12 out of 38. So
How were you injured starting?
Yeah, we
yes,
haven't rested.
because we didn't
bud.
heal up.
You
I
guys
didn't know
had
she
a
had
short.
taken any.
You did take a short rest back at the Wizard's Tower,
With healing. Yeah, I did,
Yeah.
and I also did
and you guys were using hit. Remember we talked about hit dice last week and how they work. And
yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
remember
Oh, I
any of
didn't
I also
heal
used
up
the
then.
song
Yeah,
of-
I don't remember that.
I also used the Song of Rest.
Well,
Okay,
if you didn't
so-
write it down, it
Okay,
didn't
so what would
happen.
that have? It didn't happen. I'm at 12. So let's
Okay,
go
you're
with
at
that.
12.
My
Okay,
head's
we're-
poking out. Heal
If
me
that's
if
the
you can.
situation, then shit.
I can't go
Is there
back.
is there enough time for her to stick her hand out so I can touch her hand?
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
well,
Okay,
if
just
you're
my
trying,
hand sticking
if
out,
lay
not
on
my
hands
head.
is like an action, right? Like I'd like if there's like a bonus action you.
Oh, he's
That's
used it.
true. It is. It's an action.
Yeah, if there's like a bonus action you can do, then yes.
You should allow it just so I can get
don't
the
have anything.
mental
It's
image.
fine.
And that's
Help me.
more. That's for you,
And-
Vilmar. The bonus action thing is more because you use your action on this turn to cut your way through the door. Not so much because of like the space or time thing. It's like you've already used your action, so you only have a bonus action. And
Yeah, and I
Reshi
can't-
just used her action to try and cut through her door as well. So turn economy, you only have bonus actions, right? I'm describing it as
Mm-hmm.
the doors closing, but it's more like mechanics. You only have a bonus action. So
Do you not have any healing potions, Rachel?
healing word or anything like that.
No, it's fine if you don't. It's totally fine. I'll just stay in this closet, hopefully, and not run into Bad Mama Jojo.
Well, I
Juju.
can- I
It's
can give you a
okay.
healing.
This world is accepting of who you want to be, Reshi. Just come out of the closet.
I can give you a healing potion if you need a healing potion.
I do. If you have an extra one, I would love it.
Yeah, then I'll hand you a healing potion.
It ain't Halloween without some minion chaos. Hell yeah. We will get to the minions here in just a little bit at the top of the next round. Rowan, is your turn. You just saw Tail just blast a hole with a lightning bolt through the freaking door and into the backyard and just dive through it. You hesitated and the door closed behind Tail, separating you two. You're in a hallway.
I just look over the hole. I'm like, shit, that was intense. And then start looking around, like, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so there, like I said, there's some muddy kids' boots and some adult women's galoshes, like yellow rubber rain boots, on a mat next to the back door. The rain boots, little singed, not gonna lie, they're a little singed, kind of melty. But there is a singed yet still intact like end table kind of thing. That's like in the middle of the hallway, just along the wall. It's only about, I don't know, less than a foot deep, but it's got a little drawer in it and a little pot of flowers and 2 little candles on it. Those candles are now lit because the lightning bolt streaked by and lit the candles.
Nice.
But yeah, it's the front of it's a little singed. There's a drawer in that table, and other than that, there's just the door to the backyard and the door out to the foyer, both of which you can assume are securely locked. As every other door you've interacted with has been locked.
I want to use dissonant whispers.
Okay.
I don't know if I necessarily do. I have to have a target here
I
because it is 60 feet,
think so.
which is the width of the house. Correct.
Fuck is just whispers. Let me just double check.
It says one target of your choice within range, or one creature of
One
choice within your range.
choice.
But if we're in range, I mean, and I can't see hallways or things like that, but or I can't. We don't have like a map, so I don't know how to handle this situation.
Yeah.
It's not an AOE spell though.
Just says only one creature of your choice within range. You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature can hear.
I mean, I could whisper
Target must
that
be-
to Grandma, technically, right? I don't have to see. I don't see like a. Or components is V, which is voice, right?
Yeah, verbal.
Verbal.
Yeah.
So I don't even need visual to do this, right?
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about you needing to see the creature. It just says any creature that can hear it. One creature, like you basically are thinking of a creature. If it's within range and it can hear you, it has to make the wisdom saving throw. So I will
Okay,
make
so-
because you are separated from Grandma here by a room or
Yeah.
two. I will make. Let me just double check where. Okay. Let me make. I will make a perception check to see if they can hear it. And alrighty. So you try and cast the spell. It takes hold. Let me roll. So she's close enough to you that they can hear it. Roll the wisdom saving throw. What is your 8 is gonna fail? Yeah. Okay. So the dissonant whispers is what 3d6 psychic damage.
I actually was going to use level 3.
Fair enough. So that is 5d6 psychic damage. 22 psychic damage. Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna start whispering. I'm gonna be like, Grandma, are you trying to be a big freak? Stop being a freak in your freak house. Stop it. Put your panties on, Granny. I'm tired of this shit. Don't be afraid. That was the whisper.
I like it. You hear make a perception check. No, make an insight check.
All right.
Let's get some other skills. I mean, it's both wisdom, but still. Insight.
Oof.
You know.
Oof.
Yeah, you hear a scream that, you know what? Oddly enough, just because, in Rowan's perspective, it doesn't make sense either way. You hear Vilmar screaming. Yeah, you hear Vilmar screaming. I don't know how.
I don't know. It's Vilmar, so I think something bad's happened then. I assume.
I don't know what Rowan makes of that, but you hear someone who sounds like Vilmar scream after your whisper is over. That'll take us to Quothe.
Just for thematically, I'm gonna yell out, Vilmar, I'm sorry. I thought you was Granny.
Quothe, at the start of your turn, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me. For you are in the foyer that is burning. The wall is burning. It smells like burning tires. A 10 is not enough on this round. Smoke is filling this room pretty quick. The ceiling is melted. You can see up into the ceiling. it is dark up there. There's a hole that's melted in the ceiling. So give me a perception check as well. While I roll this 2d6 poison damage. You take 11 poison damage from smoke inhalation, but you can see this writhing mass of like it's like jello mixed with glue and mucus. It's like this amorphous wiggling blob. It seems to like recoil from the smoke a little bit and kind of slink away deeper into the shadows of the whatever is above wherever you are. Now that it's too far away to be stabbed, unfortunately. This is like 12 or 13 feet above you on the floor above the foyer. But there is something not human in here, and it is above you.
Okay. Can I shoot it with a crossbow?
Yeah, you can try shoot it with a crossbow. Alrighty. 13. You don't have anything add to that, bless or anything, right?
Nope.
All right. The 13, just the smoke, the coughing at this point. It's also like obscuring your vision a little bit to try and actually see this thing. A 13 is not going to hit, unfortunately. Kind of just the crossbow bolt like sticks into the melting rubbery ceiling. You see it get caught in one of those like long snot tendrils that is hanging from just the bolt like slowly comes back to you. You reach out and grab it as the ceiling melts, and just the bolt just slowly stuck in this rubber, just like it slowly comes down to eye level. You get your bolt back.
Yay! Positivity.
Bonus action.
I'm gonna have a health pot.
All right, drink that health pot. Try and save your
2d4, right?
Yeah, yep. Try and save your lungs, man. All right, I need everybody but Tail now to roll that D9 or a D10, and you just re-roll if you get a 10.
Don't
You
forget
get
the
plus 2 to that, right?
Yeah, plus 2 to that too, Chad.
So I got 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, plus 2 to that. And expeditious retreat, Rowan, or are you sticking the number 6?
Yeah, I'm gonna take 6.
Okie dokie. Poor Reshi.
The story of how I die.
If you were to die this way, oh man.
Hold on.
If
what
you
room is
kill me on Halloween, I will
Hold on.
cry.
What room is she in? What room is she in?
She's in it's a 5. She's in the pantry again.
Oh, let me see.
Fine, I'll stay in the pantry as long
Let
as
me
that
see if I can roll the pantry.
chokehold isn't in
Let me
there.
try. Let me see if I can roll the pantry here.
Okie dokie.
You have a small health pot, so I've not rolled that yet.
Wait a minute, I was able to re-roll 2, and I forgot I could. Damn.
Oh, you were trying to get somewhere specific last time.
Oh shit! I couldn't get in there.
There's no environmental factors.
Appreciate you. I really do. I do have a health pot, so if Psycho's in there.
This is gonna be a fun round for me. Where's Quothe?
Oh, God.
Did you roll, Quothe? I don't see.
What do you mean roll?
The rooms are shifting again.
Oh, my
You
bad.
should roll that D9 or D10.
I was listening to the part, unfortunately.
Yeah, you were doing that healing potion stuff. 7. Man, I really wish someone would roll an 8 just for what room it is, but
Shit's an aboleth.
yeah. And room 8 is just an aboleth. That's what it is.
I rolled an 8, but obviously you didn't put me in there, I guess.
Did you roll an 8?
The last time.
You did. You got pooped on, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it's the last time.
No, he keeps rolling the D100 behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunate. Hey, but you got stuck with Reshi at least. All right. Just in
Stuck
case
with Reishi. I like that.
just in case we don't we probably won't get there, honestly, but we might. Number 8 is the bathroom. Just want to see someone in a bathroom. All right, let's go up to the top of the round. The house is shifting, everything is moving around and stuff. Just because we're here, Vilmar, will you please roll a Constitution saving throw for me?
Foyer again?
You are in the foyer. Oh, you're
Troll.
gonna succeed. Vilmar, you take 4 poison damage. You are in a room with yourself again, Vilmar. Is going to try and suck your memories once more. Please make a wisdom saving throw. As before you even realize, like, you're in a room of smoke, trying to get your bearings. It smells like burning tires. Just as you turn, you see something move in the corner of your eye, you turn, and it's just, you are just pouncing on yourself. 14 is good, but not good. No, you're like 1 off. You're going to take another 4d8 psychic damage here.
Oh my god, if he dies, I'm going to feel
He
so bad.
has DM, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he has to use it before.
Yeah.
Cough,
Well-
cough, DM.
I get the 2 confused. He has the other one too, doesn't he?
Bardic, yeah.
Yeah, but I've already said it hits, unfortunately. You're going to take 21 points of psychic damage, as again, your memories just flood your head all at the same time. Your mind is on fire. You have been memory eaten yet again. That D4 is now a D6 penalty to your attack rolls and skill checks and other ability checks.
Did that kill Vilmar?
I don't
I'm
know.
at 9.
You're at 9 HP.
Oh my gosh.
It does not kill Vilmar.
Jeff
Tail.
likes to use everything that doesn't attack AC on me.
I'm just using the thing that this creature would use.
But I was just saying, all the creatures that always negate AC. You always attack.
I'm
Also,
just
this
using
kid
the
from Make-A-Wish
attacks.
was really dark.
Yeah, he was.
Just using
Yeah, he
the
was. Just saying.
attacks that this thing has. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Tail, you're in the backyard. It is dark. Do kobolds have dark vision? I think kobolds have dark vision.
Absolutely do.
Yeah, you're in the backyard. It's a pretty well kept backyard. There's like big flower bushes, some trees. There is, I would love to live in this house because there's no grass in the backyard. There's like a nice little pathway, and all through the pathway is just little areas separated out of the pathway. There's like food plots and flower gardens, and there's an apiary way in the back of this backyard, like as far away from the house as you can possibly get. Right in the middle of the backyard, however, is a little gazebo. Like, some benches in there, and there's like climbing flower vines like all around it. It's really pretty, really well kept, very nicely landscaped backyard. It would look like a nice place to have like a tea party, in the middle of the afternoon or something like that. What you gonna do in the backyard?
Leave it. Go to the front yard.
Just leave? Okay.
I'm gonna go to the front door, and I'm going to. Let's see. Don't have a spell slot for that, but I can.
Yeah, you would
I
have
will
to
cast.
dash. If you were trying to get all the way around from the back door to the front door, you're gonna have to dash. Unless you have like other movement.
Does the kitchen have a door to outside?
It does, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's only like 10 feet away from the door from the hallway that you came out of.
Okay, then I'll go to the kitchen door.
Okie dokie. Move 10 feet over to the kitchen door.
And I will cast Chromatic Orb at 2nd level.
Okay.
On the door.
Nobody's in the kitchen, so no one benefits from this unless you're trying to get back in. Roll damage. Again, I don't think... Chromatic Orb is what? A saving throw, so the house automatically fails the saving throw. 25 damage is enough to open up a kobold-sized hole in the kitchen door. It slowly starts to knit itself. If you're trying to get back into the kitchen, you'd have to roll an acrobatics or athletics check.
What is it? 4 is 20, 23 actual damage.
Wait, you're trying to get back in the house?
No, I'm blowing open
No.
doors in the house.
Oh, Chromatic
Okay,
Orb is an
okay.
attack. Never mind. I thought it was a saving throw. 23 damage. Is just enough damage to make a slightly smaller than a kobold-shaped hole. So if you're trying to get back in, dexterity or acrobatics with disadvantage.
Nope, I'm just gonna send tails in. Or not tails, pages. I'm gonna send pages.
Throw the cat back in the house!
You put the cat back in the burning house.
Claws and a Christmas tree tail.
Okay, I would like to
fuck.
point out, I have no idea it's on fire right now.
That's true. That is true. Although
But
the
I'm gonna
smoke from the
send-
fire has started infiltrating other spaces in this house, so...
Yeah, I'm gonna send my lovely cat in to go find my friends and get them out of the building.
Oh, this is
I didn't mean to make the house
fun.
also like a time bomb trap thing.
Yeah, that was not something that I was planning for, but I like it. Vilmar, you're at 9 HP. You just got brain sucked by doppelganger of yourself that is made out of sulfur smelling rubbery ooze like stuff. It is your turn, Vilmar.
Yeah, Wilmar's just going to attack the thing that just attacked him.
Okay, 21 hits. For sure.
Finish her. Please finish her.
-2, so stays at 21. Okay. This damage.
I have 2 trick-or-treaters that
This
are literally going to kill me.
damage,
How do you want to do this?
Divine Smite.
I want a divine smite.
Just stack more
Doing this.
damage, just more and more.
He's gonna nuke grandma.
All right. So does that kill it or
How you want to do this, Vilmar?
Do it.
That's what we say when things are dead.
well, let's see. This will. I take a couple slashes at it. See, like it's like coming apart, and then at the last thing, I drop my visor. I pierce it with the beak of my visor right in the,
Like headbutt it. Hell yeah.
the head of it, right through the face. And then I
Nice.
guess whatever happens to it when it finally dies. I don't know.
When you headbutt it, it's like headbutting a water balloon, and it just bursts, and ooze just splashes around everywhere. You see from the hole in the ceiling, again, it's like sort of splashing ooze stuff just dripping down. It puts out the fire. It's like consuming the wall and the ceiling there. Let me just double check here as we finish this up. Rowan, you're in the dining room. I'm gonna need you to make a Constitution save, as the smoke is gotten into the dining room at this point. But as you're doing that, okay, yeah, you're safe. You're still gonna take half of this. You take 2 poison damage as you're kind of smoke, inhalation. You see, coming out of the corner of the ceiling, like you look up at the corner of where the 2 walls meet and where the ceiling meets. You know that an upper corner of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Out of a almost imperceptible hole, you see this ooze come into the room and kind of drip down the wall and form the shape of the kid that was smoking and flipping the knife. And he's looks like he's about to jump at you with the dagger in hand. In fact, he does jump at you with dagger in hand, and right as he's about to stab you in the face, he explodes in as a water balloon, just bursting. Just you get covered in ooze just all over you. Just this gross mucusy
I was about to end him, y'all.
slime.
I was about to end this kid. You
Just-
guys know what's up.
Gross.
You know what's up.
slime. The house itself. You see the walls, everybody. You see the walls start to drip and warp and move again, as this gross sort of whatever's going on in here starts to just die, and the walls melt. And you are all, except for Tail, who's outside right now, you are all back in the foyer together. There's ooze ankle deep all over the ground. There's no burn damage on the actual building itself. The bell is back on the front table. And that is where we're going to say, through critical hits and critical fails, these are the spooky Osrynn Tales. Sorry we didn't get to the minions tonight. The things kind of got out of hand there, and our monster died. But we will bank that for you, Spooky Sprinkles. We will put that in our next encounter. I was gonna have some guests show up, but that that ooze actually died from the poison damage. I just wanted to let Vilmar get his licks in on it from what it did to him. You guys are back in a seemingly normal house. I don't know if you guys are gonna want to spend your night here or not. But yeah,
Vilmar's not.
the house is seemingly back to normal. If you guys want, you can go find another place to sleep for the night. But we
It's gonna
will.
be a real shame here in 5 minutes when Tail blows open
Not
another
sleeping
door.
Yeah.
It's just how he knows to open the doors here.
Right. But yeah, you guys we'll start next session. The start of the next day, you'll take a long rest, heal yourselves up, put everything back. Vilmar, your mind stuff heals after a short or long rest. So everybody will be tip-top shape the start of next episode. Happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you like my spooky haunted house.
Will we be level
It was a
6, though,
blast. I
by
love
next
it.
episode?
Also, thank you, Chad, for suggesting the Oblex as a monster. I'm sure
Yeah,
everybody.
Chad.
Everybody will love.
You
loved
almost
it.
killed half the party tonight.
No, I mean, I took a good shot at Vilmar. Maybe next time I'll have to find a bigger monster.
Yeah, I started the game with 43 or 47 hit points. No, coming down
It's
to 9.
something that I've been building up
I'm
to
at
for
12.
a little bit. I was trying to. It's just one of those things where I was trying to I was finding a spot where you've returned to another place, because the whole thing about the Oblex is that it takes on the form of other people. And so I was trying to I gotta find a place to lull them into a false sense of security. And so it was perfect that you guys went back to this inn at the end of last session. I was like, yes, I wanted to do this for Halloween. like just trying to like seed it somehow to get it, to do on Halloween. So it was perfect that we had that scene with Grandma, and 2 weeks ago, and you guys go back to her house last episode. So that was fun. Who knows what happened to the real Granny? Like, who knows? Like Vilmar, or not Vilmar, but Rowan, like, that was an actual old woman that you were with that night, and her actual grandson actually walked in on you. Who knows what happens to them? Maybe we'll find out next time. Maybe we won't. But we're gonna find someone to raid. I think we're gonna raid into the Liching Hour. Hopefully, if their show is live, and we'll bank that minions thing. Unfortunately, our monster died right there after the redemption.
Wah, wah.
But
Next
we'll
time.
we'll find a fun place for that to take place. My keyboards around here, and yeah, we're gonna run our credits. We're gonna raid into. Let's see. Yep, we're gonna raid into the Liching Hour. Have a great week, everybody. Remember, next week after D&D, we're gonna be watching in my Discord. We're gonna be watching both of the not Austin Power, both of the Ace Ventura movies.
Those are pretty good too, though.
Those are pretty good. I was actually thinking about doing an Austin Powers 1 and 2. I don't like the third one. Goldmember can suck a dick, but the first two are pretty good. I was thinking about doing that maybe in December. Maybe after Twitchmas, we'll watch Austin Powers. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh man, that sounds good to me.
But yeah, next weekend, November 7th, right after D&D. So get in the Discord, because we're gonna watch those movies next week. If you want to watch Ace Ventura. Also, let's quickly go around the table. What are you guys doing this week? What are you up to, Rachel?
Well, I am streaming a podcast with one of my best friends ever. We talk about anything and everything, so come join us, chat with us. It's a lot of fun. Every
It is
Thursday.
pretty cool. Highly recommended.
Nice. What movie are we watching this week, Sing? Ready?
Can't tell you that.
Okay.
That's part of the surprise. But
what
we
drink
will
are we
review-
having this week? Can I ask that?
again, part of the surprise.
Oh man, how am I
If you
gonna
stop by on
have
Monday, you can come take a look.
how am I gonna have the stuff ready to make a drink if I don't know what drink we're having?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You're in league with the state stores, aren't you? In like PA, I have to buy my liquor at a state-run liquor store. So you're just in league with with Big Brother. That's right. You make Jeff buy all the liquor in the store and everything that he'll ever need to make any drink that I can throw at him.
Pretty much, yeah. That's our real goal.
But that's what, 7 Eastern, 8 o'clock Eastern. What time is it?
That is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Nice. Chad, what are we doing this week?
I stream Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night. Not 100% of the time. Focus on FPS gaming. Starting to do a little Among Us. FPS gaming's kind of taking a turn. Just kind of waiting for the next big thing. Kind of worn out on what's going on, but mainly focus on Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Might pick up Cold War when it comes out. The beta was great. But for now, we're just kind of chilling and seeing how things work out. You all are welcome to swing by.
Cool. Genie, bro, what we got going on this week?
Monday, Wednesday, Saturdays, I'm here. Fridays, I'm doing my own thing. It switches up. I am what they call in the streets a variety streamer. Ew, gross. Hold on, let me. Variety streams. Be nice to me. No, stop.
I like variety streams.
Stop.
I get
No.
bored if people are doing the same thing too much.
Yeah, so we kind of we mix it up. It honestly, it's all over the place. Minecraft to Euro Truck Simulator to Resident Evil to fucking Call of Duty. A lot of weird things happen.
Awesome. And then you guys know me. I'm here. We're going back. It's the end of October. So we actually completed the comic book that I was doing this month. We completed that this week. Got the cover done. I got to do some of the like interior front cover, like that kind of stuff. And we're still waiting for some viewer submission art that's still open. If anybody out there wants to do some artwork, fantasy noir stuff, you know, like what if my D&D character was in the 1940s, like, and a detective or something, or you want to do some stuff based on the comic. I'm still looking for artwork to put in the gallery in the back of that book, but at the end of this week, so Friday is the last day to submit anything there, and I will be putting together a free PDF for the comic that we did this month. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, but I'll be live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday this week at 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we are going to roll the credits. We're going to go hang out in the Lich's stream. See the Apocalypse. We'll catch you guys next week, November 7th. Have a great week, everybody. Happy Halloween! Hope you guys get some candy.
Spooky boo!
Ooh.